Former State Senate Majority Leader Pedro Espada Jr. may have to go through another 2-month trial over charges that he stole from his healthcare clinic in the Bronx. Our Grace Rout was in federal court in Brooklyn today and joins us now with the very latest in this case. Good evening, Grace.
Good evening, Errol. Well, federal prosecutors had been expected to retry Pedro Espada Jr. and his son on theft and conspiracy counts the jurors deadlocked on at the end of a lengthy trial last month. And today they made it official, telling a federal judge that they are moving forward with the case. The former senator and his son were accused of stealing more than $500,000 from a publicly funded healthcare clinic that Espada founded in the Bronx. Jurors convicted Espada of 4 counts of theft, but they could not reach a decision on 4 other counts. The jury, meanwhile, deadlocked on all counts against Espada's son. Now, it does not sound like a plea agreement is in the works right now. Espada tells us he is also getting a new attorney.
There are no plea talks going on with the government and the scheduling of this case, and as much as it will probably take another 2.5 months, require that we obtain new counsel, and so we will.
Now, the federal judge says that Espada's retrial could begin at the earliest in November, but before that can happen, he will be arraigned next week in federal court in Manhattan on some related tax charges. The judge also ordered Espada to steer clear of the healthcare clinic from which he was convicted of stealing. The judge says that Espada cannot directly participate in the operations of the clinic. Of course, as Espada's attorney pointed out in court today, the clinic is struggling to stay alive, so there may not be much at all operating going on with the clinic right now. Errol?
So Grace, in the past, folks from the clinic have come down to support Pedro Espada during his legal trial. I saw some folks there. They didn't look like clinic operators, though. Who was that?
Well, there were some new members of his entourage today. There were a couple of folks there wearing vests that said Zulu Warriors security. I spoke to one of them. They said that they're not a bodyguard for Espada, but just came out to give him some support today.
Zulu Warrior security. Okay. Thanks very much, Grace. Turning to the campaign trail, dueling endorsements continue today for Congressman Charles Rangel and his top challenger, State Senator Adriano Espaillat. But will the ethical headaches of one Rangel supporter overshadow his support for the incumbent? Our Josh Robin answers that question.
Congressman Charles Rangel knows a bit about bad headlines, so after